So the topic is equations and solving, adding and subtracting equations. That's what we're going to cover today. First thing first is equation. So the equation is basically nothing but it's a simple an expression with the equal sign. Expression with the equal sign. Okay, with the equal sign. So in the last chapter, we learned about the expression, like combining like terms. We did that. Order of operations. We did all of the stuff. So we're going to put it together in terms of the equation. Let's say x minus 10. So this is an expression. This is expression. But I want to make it this one equation. And then what I write it, x minus 10 equals some number. Then this is an equation. This is an expression. Does that make a difference? So expression doesn't have equal sign. Equation does have equal sign. Okay, so that's only the difference between the expression and the equation. So equations are just like a balancing, like a balance. Let's say when you see an equation, this is the equal sign right here. Whatever here one side and you have the other side, they're equal. Okay, you're balancing stuff. So if I add something here, and to keep a balance, I have to add it here too. Okay, same way, if I take away something here, I have to take away something here too. Otherwise, it's not going to be balanced. It's going to be a little bit unbalanced. So that's the one thing in your equations. Whatever you do one side, you have to do it to the other side. Like if you add one side, you have to add it to the other side. Or if you multiply one side, you have to multiply the other side. Just like that. So if you look at this question, x minus 10 is on the one side. I'm going to draw a little bit more, even though I'm not good at drawing. I suck in the drawing, that's what I can say. So this is x minus 10, and this is 4. So like this is the balance. So whatever I do one side, I have to do the other side. So ultimately, we are looking for what's the value of the x. What could be the value of the x? It makes equal sign. Okay, so when I isolate the x, I see this extra minus 10 is there. So to get rid of that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a 10 on both sides. So I'm going to change color. So I'm going to add 10 here and then add 10 here. So this cross out. Now I'm left with the x, and then here is the 14. Does that make sense? How those equations does work? So if you look at it, in the test or when you go to school, you don't need to do all these diagrams and everything. What you guys do is x minus 10 equals 4. And you see the minus 10, all you have to do is add 10. If I add it one side, I have to add it to the other side here. So plus 10 minus 10 cross out. So you get x equal, that's a 14. Does it make sense? Yeah. So we follow the same stuff. It doesn't matter whether it is a fractions or non-fractions. We follow the same stuff. So right here, first step, I look at the question. I have an equal sign, and I see a letter there. So that's my focus is. So my focus is this letter M. That's what I need to isolate. To isolate, I see as extra negative 1/5 is there. Okay, so it's a minus 1/5. What's opposite of minus 1/5? Ayla? Add 1/5, right? So I'm going to add 1/5 on one side, then I have to add 1/5 on the other side also. Because whatever I do one side, I have to do the other side too. So, and this cross out, and I add these two. So you can write it step by step. But once you get familiar with it, you don't need to show a lot of steps. You can get an answer fast. So that's a 3/5 equal. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Really good. Okay, let me put some questions for you guys. Let's do some practice questions so that way you can get a really good idea. Again, as I mentioned to you guys, don't feel bad if you get something wrong. So this is a chance to everybody's learning. So it's okay. When I learned this stuff, I did a lot of mistakes. But I've been teaching like almost 20 years, so it's easy for me. Let's try these questions, and then we'll go over them. Okay. Next, same way. Look at the same question. First thinking is, where is my letter? So this is the letter. That's what you need to keep isolated. And then I see the next to the letter, it's -9 or -9. Doesn't matter what you call. It's a -9 or -9. So add 9 here. If I do one side, I have to do the other side. Add 9 here. So it's going to be 25. That's the letter N. Okay. Whenever you complete the question, then you feel like, okay, how do I did it? Like, did I do correctly or not? What you can do is you can check your answers. So what does that means is like 16 equal M minus 9, right? But the M value is 25. We just got that. So I can replace the M with 25 minus 9. So 25 minus 9 is 16, and the other side is also 16. So that means I did it correctly. Okay, so that is called checking. So check your solution. Follow the same procedure. Find the further variable. And see, when we are doing these one-step equations, if you do it correctly, then when there is a multiple steps, like there are multiple step equations, then you're gonna do correctly too. So this is plus M, this is negative 2.3. I'm gonna add 2.3 here, got rid of that, and then add 2.3 here. 9.3. Same thing. My letter or the variable we can call, that's plus Z, add 3/4. Add 3/4 here. That gives me 8/4. But 8/4 means what? 2. Okay? That's the answer. So since the y is right here, -4, add 4 there. So it's going to be 30. See, once you get used to it, you don't need to do a lot of steps. You need to get the answer right away. So obviously this one, it's -1/4. If I send it to the other side, it's going to be +1/4. So 1/3/4 plus 1/4, that's W. But obviously 1, and then 3/4 plus 1/4. Like 3/4 means like 75 cents. 1/4 means 25 cents. So that gives you $1. So 3/4 plus 1/4. So that's 4/4. That's a complete one. So that's 1 plus 1, that is 2, just W. You see how I did the fractions? And sometimes you can convert into mixed number and then do that one. It's the same thing, but this is faster. This technique is faster. Let's find the error in this question. All right, so if you look at this one, it's a plus 12.5. But B is, instead of minusing, she added again. You see that? Since it is a plus, you need to do the opposite of that. So it's a B has error. It's a mistake. Does that make sense? You need to do the opposite of the whatever you have in there. Always make sure you look at the keywords in this, and that makes it easier. Sometimes in the word problems, they give a lot of story behind it, but it's really not that much important. So obviously you can see the one method to estimate the heart rate is that your age added to maximum heart rate is 220. So that's all you need. The rest everything is like extra. So in this one, age, let's say A, plus maximum heart rate, I don't know. So that's let's take some letter. Maximum heart rate is N. Ease means equal. 220. See, the question word problems look scary, but when you do them, it's not that bad. And this is easy. So you need to find A. So, but again, they give you the age is 15 years old. So age is 15 years old plus N equal 220. Then it's easy. You guys know how to do this stuff. Since this is the letter, so take away 15 on both sides. See, once you get familiar with this, and you don't need to write a lot of steps. So 220 minus 15, 205. Okay, that's it. So and it's just 200 minus 15. That's it. Okay. Okay. All right, next question. Let's see, I did not cut it properly. So ignore this bottom part, that's not as part of that. Okay. Ellie, please read the question. See if you can get that.
Lewis deposited $500 into his savings account. He now has $1,100. Write his documentation to find out how much of his account was the deposit. Show that your answer is.
One thing, Ellie, your sound like in a Star Wars, they read. That's how it came out. It's pretty good though. It's like in a Star Wars, they sound like the mechanical voice. That's how you like sounded like that. That's cool. Okay, so let's try this question, and then we'll check back in there. Simple in the sense like you have to think what could be the answer. So in this question, I'm going to read it for you guys. Without solving, tell whether the solution of -3 plus z equals 10 will be greater than 10 or less than 10. And then we need to think of explain. So the z is going to be greater than 10 or less than 10. So think about it. Okay, let's try the next 69. That's a test question. Oops. Then the difficult questions will be easier. So Juliana used a gift card to pay for the $18 hate card. And the remaining balance on the card is $22 left. So when you write the equation, she paid $18 and then left with the $22. So we don't know how much money is there. So we don't know how much money, and then take away $18 out of that, you still have $22. Okay, so obviously, and once you see this question, well, it's easy because we did the math already. It's minus 18 means, and you don't need to write a lot of steps. So once you get used to it, skip the steps. That's my suggestion. 22 plus 18. And then it's going to be, that's 0, that's $40. So she has a $40 in the card. Okay? Is a kind of a good question. So challenge extended. So I want you to look at this question right here. In this question, x plus 3 is 15 And then we have to find out 18 plus 6x. This is one of the SAT type of questions. They don't give you the answer directly, but you need to use the information given to you, and then you find the value they're asking about it. Let's try this. If you don't understand it, please ask a question, okay? And then x is 12, because I plus 3, so I subtracted 3 on both sides. And then I get this one, I'll take this one here. So now 18 plus 6 times 12. In the last unit, we learned how to evaluate functions. So that's what it is. So 18 plus, that's 6 times 12 is 72. So that's 80 and 90. Okay. So today's basically we covered one-step equation, adding, subtracting, and then we're going to go on multiply, divide, and then we can kind of like add on to bigger questions. Always equation means keep that in mind, that equal sign there, okay? It's a balancing out there. And we use diffractions, all those things too. So let's look, those are the, and we did these some challenging questions.